And overall, please, let's talk about sex. Let's talk about intimacy. Let's not be afraid of having these conversations with ourselves, with our partners, with people that we trust, because that is how you will learn about yourself, what you like and what you don't like, what you want and what you don't want. This is such an important conversation, so thank you so very much for bringing this to Ask Katt and to Cat Cares in general, because I know that so many women out there are wanting to talk about this and maybe they don't have a chance to. This is the place. If you want to talk about sex, this is the place to do it. So make sure to go ahead and send me a DM or send me an email so that we can continue this conversation about anything and everything that you want to know about sex as an empowered woman. Hi guys, and welcome back to another Ask Katt video. Today's letter is so great because we're going to be talking all about sex and intimacy. And I think that this is such an important topic to talk about because it's so taboo. But ironically enough, it's such a big part of life. Whether you're having lots of it or none of it at all, it is something that needs to be talked about. I want to start off by saying thank you so much for submitting it, because I am so excited that I get to talk about it with you guys and give you a different perspective, an empowered woman's perspective to sex and intimacy. Do not forget to like and subscribe and share this video, because all of your support goes a long way. We are trying to grow an empowered community of women, and this is how you can make it happen. So again, thank you guys so much, and without further ado, let's get right into this letter. This week's letter reads, Dear Katt, my partner and I don't put sex as a top priority for physical intimacy. Neither one of us has a raging libido, so it's not like one of us is left feeling unfulfilled. We both work long hours and have a lot of responsibilities outside of work while managing our puppy, household, family, and our efforts to put aside time for workouts. We openly communicate about this, and it doesn't negatively affect our relationship. We have both placed higher importance on other forms of intimacy, like cuddling on the couch, watching a TV show, reading in the backyard together, or having a nice dinner and putting our phones away. We find each other very attractive and have found other ways to demonstrate/communicate this. There was definitely an adjustment period for me in the beginning, but like I said, I've grown to accept and appreciate it. Here's the problem. I still feel guilty when I hear friends talking about their dry spells when I'm in a happy, loving relationship and my dry spell is longer than theirs. Sometimes I even lie when I'm asked about our sex life because I feel that the expectation would be for us to have sex more frequently than we do. How can I overcome this feeling of peer pressure and confidently accept that our lack of sex doesn't indicate that we've lost our fire? Let's take a moment to process that. I'm gonna start with all of the positives that I heard from this. First of all, it sounds like you are in such a loving and open relationship, and that is so important for every single woman out there, because communication, especially when it comes to sex and intimacy, is key. And it sounds like you have that. You have a partner that you can communicate openly with about what you like and don't like and the expectations on either end. So already, girl, you are winning. That is amazing. Bask in the glory of having such a beautiful relationship and a beautiful partner, and also being a beautiful partner that communicates as well. I heard in there a part of it where you said that there was an adjustment period. I think this is such a perfect place to say every relationship is going to have an adjustment period. You're finding what fits for you. And it sounds like That's what you were able to achieve. You guys said, all right, how do we make this all work? And you found that. Okay, we're gonna grab all those beautiful things that you have in your relationship, and we're gonna put them to the side and save them for just 1 second when I answer your question, because that is going to be key in this. The next thing I want to talk about is this peer pressure that you're feeling. Okay, and the one thing I will say about that is that I want you to recognize that that peer pressure is coming from the outside world. It's not coming from your relationship. Your relationship is good, it's solid, you're happy. Like you said, you're in a happy, loving relationship. You find your partner attractive, he finds you attractive, you guys communicate. So already I hope that this problem has become a lot easier to handle, right? I never want you to associate this problem as like, oh my gosh, maybe my relationship is bad, or we're not doing it right. Actually, you're doing it perfect. You're satisfied. Isn't that the point of sex? Satisfaction? If you're satisfied, girl, that is all you need. Society's expectations is that we should be having sex all the time. Sex is the most common form of intimacy that we know of. So to be able to step out of that idea, it takes communication. I think the number one thing is to understand that sex and intimacy, yes, they are related, and yes, sex can be intimacy, but intimacy goes so much more beyond that. And you gave some beautiful examples, like being able to watch a show together, read in the backyard, have a nice dinner where you put your phones away, be able to cuddle on the couch. All of intimacy is about the connection of two people. It's this deep connection. So yes, sex, literally, we're connecting. But there are other ways that we can also connect with one another. This is going to be such a key thing for every empowered woman out there, because as an empowered woman, you want to know what helps you connect with your partner. And that takes confidence, right? That takes confidence in your relationship, in exploring your relationship and exploring yourself. What makes you feel connected to this other person? What gives you satisfaction? What helps you feel fulfilled? With that, I will say, girl, you are an empowered woman for having this relationship where you are able to fully explore that. If you're able to have that conversation from the get-go, it means that you can continuously have this conversation. So if there ever comes a time where you want more or you want different, you're with someone that you can talk to about it. And I'm sure that you feel confident enough to be able to go to your partner and say, hey, I want different. Now, I want to get to the main question that you asked, which says, how can I overcome this feeling of peer pressure and confidently accept that our lack of sex doesn't indicate that we've lost our fire? I understand where the difficulty comes from, because it's the looks that you get. Because as soon as you say, well, you know, we haven't had sex in X amount of days or weeks or months, you're gonna get a, what? What? Oh my God, are you guys okay? No way. I don't know how you do it. That is the difficult part to deal with, because you don't want to have to justify your actions or your relationship to anybody else. And so I think that's the key. I don't think that you need to justify to anybody any decision that you make for you and your partner. Yes, it will be different. No, you're not bunny rabbits going at it every single day. But at the end of the day, when you are confident and you have all these facts, I hope that you have a copy of this letter, and I want you to save it and read it over and over again, because anytime anybody gives you a look or anybody gives you any reason to doubt, I want you to look back at this and read over all the facts. So let that diminish any kind of peer pressure that you feel. Let that completely do away with any insecurity you may have about speaking your truth. And I will add, you can say as much or as little as you want to about the intimacy and the sex and the relationship that you have with your partner. If you ever get that doubt of, oh my God, have we lost our fire? Just list all of the things that you guys do. And I feel like you know the difference between the two, and that one is not the end all be all for the other. That's the main takeaway for all of us. Just because you're not having sex every single day doesn't mean that you're lacking intimacy. So if anything, this is the time to really explore intimacy within yourself. What does that mean to you? What does it mean to be intimate with your partner? And do you have that? And overall, please, let's talk about sex. Let's talk about intimacy. Let's not be afraid of having these conversations with ourselves, with our partners, with people that we trust, because that is how you will learn about yourself, what you like and what you don't like, what you want and what you don't want. This is such an important conversation, so thank you so very much for bringing this to Ask Katt and to Katt Cares in general, because I know that so many women out there are wanting to talk about this, and maybe they don't have a chance to. This is the place. If you want to talk about sex, this is the place to do it. So make sure to go ahead and send me a DM or send me an email so that we can continue this conversation about anything and everything that you want to know about sex as an empowered woman. I will be back next week with another video, but I hope that you guys have a wonderful week. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and comment. I am always so eternally grateful for you guys. So I will see you soon, but until then, always, always remember, Katt cares. Bye, guys. Can you stop it and then help me connect again?
Girl, if I gotta do this one more time, I'm leaving you.
Baby, you don't want to stay while I talk about sex?
No, because you won't be able to keep a straight face.
Can you flip that screen, please? Before I forget.
Stop looking at yourself. You do a good job at not looking at yourself.
Thanks. Thank you. Don't eat all the cookies. That's my family.
Alright, go ahead, start.
Did you get it all out of your system now?
This? Yeah, it was a recording?
Yes.
And then, yeah. Make sure it's in the bloopers. Can you be in the bloopers?
You can be in the bloopers.
Yeah, bloopers! Woo! I'm home!
Now that we got the crazies out of the way and they have that all out of their system, we can actually start.